Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and we got some good news. The Washington Commanders have activated tight end Logan Thomas off the PUP list, so we'll talk about that and what that means. They also made a few other roster moves that I want to talk about. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also, make sure you guys check out Real Time Fantasy Sports. First link in the description. So we got some good news, so I'll read this right here from Mike Garafolo. He says the Commanders have activated tight end Logan Thomas off the PUP list. He's back and ready to practice today, just over 8 months after suffering a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Really good news for Washington, and he's ahead of schedule because, you look at that torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. For him to be back already is great. And no, this does not mean he is going to be 100% ready for week 1. He might not play week 1. I think he will. That's my prediction. But this is not a guarantee. But it means he'll likely be back the first couple weeks of the season, maybe week 3 at the very least. He's back at practice. I don't think doing full on stuff, but he's catching some passes from Carson Wentz, and I assume he's running some routes as well. So that is good to hear. Good for those guys to get their chemistry going, because how Carson Wentz likes to throw to his tight ends. Like, even when it was Armani Rogers, who started off camp as a 5th or 6th string tight end, he in the first preseason game just kept throwing the ball to Armani Rogers. So he likes to throw to his tight ends, and Logan Thomas is a great security blanket to have for a quarterback. We'll talk about Logan Thomas a little bit more in a second. But some other moves that were made. The Commanders claimed Kendall Bland off of waivers from the LA Rams. I talked about that in a video I made earlier today, but quick background on him. Played for the Rams, obviously, 2 seasons in total with the Rams. Last year had about 40 yards receiving, but had 55 in the NFC Championship. And, a lot of teams putting claims for him, I believe, including the Kansas City Chiefs. Rams fans really like him. They were surprised they let him go. And he had a really nice pancake block on Nick Bosa, I think maybe last year. So a lot of people like him. Has a chance to make the roster just because of all the tight end injuries they have with. Logan Thomas isn't fully back yet. Cole Turner, John Bates, Sammis Reyes, all the Armani Rogers a little bit hurt. So that's crazy right there. And they signed tight end Jake Hausman as well. And they placed Bunmi Rutimi on the reserve list, IR, and same thing with Eli Wolf. So those guys are out for the entire season. Both those guys probably weren't going to make the team. Maybe Rutimi was, and also they weren't going to make a huge impact if they did make the team. Maybe practice squad, like Bunmi Rutimi could have been a practice squad player because he was on the roster at times last year. Let's see, I'm trying to get this tweet right here from Nikki Jabala. So the Commanders placed Bunmi Rutimi on IR. He suffered a leg injury against the Chiefs on Saturday. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. Just unfortunate for him that his season is already over before the season even started. So he's out, and he was competing for a final spot, and hey, who knows, maybe he would have made it because of Chase Young's injury. But now the competition's really between Casey Tuhill, James Smith-Williams, Efe Obada, and Shaka Toney, Daniel Wise, William Bradley King. There's a lot of guys competing for those edge rusher spots. Montez Sweat's making it, and I assume James Smith-Williams is making it. That's 2 right there. And then I think Daniel Wise has a shot to make it, and Efe Obada, depends on where they play him. They've been playing him all over the place, but I think he should make it as well. And then who knows after that. So unfortunate for Bunmi Rutimi. And then Eli Wolf, not sure what happened there. It seems like every tight end they've had on the roster has gotten hurt. I think literally every one of them. You got Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, John Bates, Sammis Reyes, Armani Rogers, Curtis Hodges, Eli Wolf. All those guys are hurt or were hurt. So that is absolutely crazy. Curtis Hodges didn't play last week. Armani Rogers left the game early. So, absolutely insane. They've just been really, really unlucky with the tight end injuries. But it is good news that Logan Thomas is back. So some, information. Ron Rivera says Logan Thomas doesn't need preseason work, just going to practice and get work with Carson. I think that's, a good decision. Just get him some reps with Carson Wentz, and then eventually get him some reps with the offense, maybe a couple weeks before the season starts in practice, so you can get him acclimated. But he knows the offense. He knows most of his teammates. He played with most of his teammates besides like Jahan Dotson. Curtis Samuel he played a little bit with, but not much because Logan Thomas is out for a lot of the year, and so is Curtis Samuel. And then, most of the guys he's played with. So he should be good to go there. So, I don't think, him not playing in the preseason doesn't really matter. I don't know how many starters are actually going to play in the preseason anyways. This could be, a game where it's mostly backups. It could be a Sam Howell, like at least one half of Sam Howell, or it could be, half for Heineke, and then the other half, not half of half, but one half for Heineke, one half for Howell, or maybe it's like a quarter and a half for Heineke and the rest for Howell because they need to see how. I think Howell should get all the reps he can get. Ideally, he would be playing the whole games because you know what you're getting at Heineke. Heineke knows the offense. He knows his teammates. But you want to see what you have in Howell, and it's still super early, but you're going to have a decision to make after this year on Heineke if you want to keep him or not. And then, if you don't really know what you have in Howell, then you might want to keep Heineke. So that's something to consider there. I thought this was very interesting. So the team tests players for jumping and landing. Logan Thomas said his numbers post-surgery are better than they were at this point last season. So that is crazy. He's done a great job in this recovery because you look at the injury, like an ACL, MCL, and meniscus, like that is an insane recovery time. And on top of that, he's like 30 years old. So like his recovery time was very quick. Like, I know they're different injuries, and, Chase Young also had a torn ACL, but, the surgery was different. But, like, Logan Thomas, ACL, MCL, and meniscus, like, that is crazy to come back, in about 8 months, and he's a little bit older as well. Like, all those things going against him, and he's back. So we'll see if he's ready for week 1. I think he could be. He just has to get acclimated. He just has to get, he's in shape. He just has to get into football shape right now. And that's what they'll be doing over these next 3 weeks. So, I'm really excited. Not even 3 weeks, like a little less than 3 weeks. So I'm really excited to see, what he can do this year. Because I think him and, Carson Wentz are going to mesh really well together this year. And then some other things. So this is from John Kine, said Ron Rivera and Logan Thomas. The next step is to see him in practice. Best thing is this is a step on if he knows about Thomas' availability for the opener. No, but as long as he continues to progress, there's some good things. So yeah, I think Logan Thomas, if I had to predict, I would say he's playing week 1, but maybe like a 60% chance, not super confident, maybe like a 57% chance. But I'm not super confident in him being back. But I think, he definitely has a shot and will be back within the first 3 weeks. So that is good. And Chase Young, though, looking more and more like he's probably not going to be back for the first maybe 4 weeks of the season. He might not come off of PUP until he's ready to play. Or, so that'll at least give him an extra roster spot so they can keep an extra DN. But it is unfortunate that one of your best players, second overall pick from 2020, probably won't be ready for the first few games of the season. So, Montez Sweat and others are going to have to step up. One of those backup edge rushers will have to step up for the Washington Commanders. So that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about the Logan Thomas situation. When do you think he will be back? When do you think, he'll come back? And yeah, also let me know if any of the other moves that they made today intrigue you. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.